After Princeton, I ended up writing a novel out of a real desire, a love of story, and a desire that maybe I could find myself as a writer. I sent it off to all number of publishers, about 32 of them. I thought confidently, this is the great way to be discovered. In pretty short order, I guess you could say that that novel had a terrific success rate. I got rejected by everybody, so I was 0 for 32. It was hard. Rejection always is hard, and that was particularly hard because it was a dream, a bubble that was just popped. I had to then think about plan B. I was lucky enough to be asked to join a group in New York, a private equity firm, willing to give me much more responsibility than I deserved. It was a great experience, and I was surrounded by really smart people who knew a lot more than I did about that world. And yet, in the course of that time, even though I gained responsibility, I became president of the publicly traded firm that was part of this operation, I kept on having this dream recurring of still trying to be a writer. I would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and write for a couple of hours. I'd write in the back of meetings, long drawn out meetings. People thought I was taking copious notes, and actually I was doing character sketches on them. I then realized there's something wrong with this picture, and when it was time to raise the second fund after now 8 or 9 years of this, I realized I needed to really ask the tough question about whether this was a dream that I would never ever feel fulfilled if I did not try again, or if it was just a passing fancy. And I realized it's the former. And when you have that sense, and I highly recommend going to the end of life to ask that question in your imaginings, because that puts things in perspective. I realized I have to give this writing thing a try again and really know that I can't do that. So I had the fun of shocking my partners and telling them I was going to leave. You can imagine the great support that I got for that idea. Not. All I can say is that moment was now 24 years ago and 30 books ago, when I got all that raft of rejections, and I was really down for 6 months after that. I thought it was just a pure negative experience, but in fact, it was a very important positive experience for 2 big reasons. If I were actually going to become a writer, I needed to know that I had a lot to learn. But the even more important, by far, side of that serendipity was that by getting knocked down and then somehow still, even with a steady job and all this nice responsibilities and security of all that, I still was yearning to write, still getting up at 4, still writing poetry in the back of the taxis or whatever. That was a very illuminating experience, because it taught me right there, it was clear, this stuff is really important to you, Tom Barron. You need to explore this. If I just shied away from that opportunity, a part of me would wither up and die. A part of me that was important. And that's why I actually look at that pile of rejection letters as serendipity.